Dear viewers, today's topic is on the series of population and micro, small and medium units in India. In this program, we are going to study the infrastructural support that the Indian MSMEs are provided with at the state and the district levels. We will also discuss the various suggestions that the MSMEs can follow to enhance their performance. So, let's begin. At the state level, we see certain institutes. So, let's begin discussing. State level institutions execute different promotional and development project schemes and provide a number of supporting incentives for development and promotion of small scale sector in their respective states. These are executed through State Directorate of Industries, which has District Industry Centers DICs under them to implement central state level schemes. The state industrial development corporations also look after the needs of the small scale sector. At point number 1, we have the state industrial development corporations, the SIDCs, incorporated under the Companies Act 1956. The SIDCs were set up in different states as wholly owned companies for promoting industrial development in their respective states. The main functions of SIDCs are as follows: A. Providing term finance to small, medium and large industrial enterprises set up in the state. B. Underwriting and directly subscribing to shares and debentures of industrial enterprises being set up in the state. C. Preparing feasibility study, conducting market surveys and motivating private entrepreneurs to set up their industrial ventures in the state. D. Collaborating with private entrepreneurs to set up industrial ventures in joint and assisted sector. E. Implementing scheme of Industrial Development Bank of India of seed capital in the state. Then we come across State Directorate of Industries. Under the Constitution of India, promotion and development of small scale industries is a state subject. Therefore, the primary responsibility for implementation of policies and programs of assistance rests with the Directorate of Industries in each state. It acts under the overall guidance of Small Industries Development Organization and concerned central institutions. It performs both regulatory and developmental functions. It functions through a network of district industries offices and extension offices at district, subdivision and block level respectively. The main functions of Directorate of Industries are as follows: A. Registration of small scale units. B. Providing financial assistance. C. Distributing scarce and indigenous raw material to industrial units. D. Granting essential certificates for import of raw material. E. Establishing industrial estates and industrial cooperatives. F. Developing industrial infrastructure. G. Undertaking industrial surveys and collecting information. H. Arranging concessions and incentive for industries. Overall administration of village and small scale industries, maintaining liaison with other agencies for industrial development. Thirdly, we have District Industry Centers. District Industry Centers program was launched in 1978 for effective promotion of cottage and small scale industries widely dispersed in rural areas and small towns. These centers are the focal points providing all the services and support required by small scale and village entrepreneurs under one roof. These services as an integrated administrative framework at the district level for industrial development. The main functions of DICs are as follows: A. It conducts surveys to know industrial potential of a district, keeping in view the availability of raw material, human skills, infrastructure, demand, etc. B. It prepares an action plan for industrial development. C. It appraises various investment proposals received from entrepreneurs. D. It guides and assists entrepreneurs in buying appropriate machinery and equipment and raw material. E. It suggests appropriate marketing strategies to entrepreneurs. F. It maintains links with research and development institutes for upgrade of technology, quality improvement, industrial training, etc. G. It conducts artisans training programs. H. It has been assigned operation responsibility for special schemes to provide self-employment to educated unemployed youths. Fourthly, we come across fund-based institutions. Of all the elements that go into business, credit is perhaps the most crucial. The best of plans can come to naught if adequate finance is not available at the right time. SMEs need credit support not only for running enterprise and operational requirements, but also for diversification, modernization, upgradation of facilities, capacity expansion, etc. With reference to SMEs, the problem of credit becomes all the more critical whenever any episodic event occurs, such as a large order, rejection of consignment, inordinate delay in payment, etc. In general, SMEs operate on tight budgets, often financed through owners' own contribution, loans from friends and relatives, and some bank credit. Government of India recognized the need for a focused credit policy for SMEs in the early days of promotion of SMEs, and RBI has been instrumental in devising a multi-stage approach financial system for credit dispensation to different sectors of the economy. For example, agriculture, industry, exports, SMEs, etc. Small Industries Development Bank of India. The Small Industries Development Bank of India was established in the year 1990 as the Apex Refinance Bank. The SIDBI is operating different programs and schemes through 5 regional offices and 33 branch offices. The financial assistance of SIDBI to small-scale sector is channelized through the 2 routes, direct and indirect. Looking at the indirect assistance, we have A. SIDBI's financial assistance to small sector is primarily channelized through the existing credit delivery system, which consists of state-level institutions, rural and commercial banks. B. SIDBI provides refinance to and discount bills of primary lending institutions. The assistance is available for first, marketing of SME products, second, setting up of new ventures, third, availability of working capital, fourth, expansion, fifth, modernization, sixth, human resource development, 7, diversification of existing units of all activities. Now, looking at the direct assistance, the following provisions are there. A. The loans are available for new ventures, diversification technology upgradation, modernization and expansion of well-run small-scale enterprises. Assistance is also available for private sector. B. Small-scale sector is eligible for maximum debt-equity ratio of 3:1. C. Foreign currency loan for import of equipment are also available to export-oriented small-scale enterprises. D. SIDBI also provides venture capital assistance to the entrepreneurs for their innovative ventures if they have a sound management team, long-term competitive advantage and a potential for the above average profitability leading to attractive return on investment. Third, new initiatives of SIDBI are as follows. A. 2 subsidiaries, that is SIDBI Venture Capital Limited and SIDBI Trustee Company Limited, formed to oversee venture capital. B. Technology Bureau for small enterprise formed to oversee technology. C. Transfer, matchmaking services, financial syndication and facilitating joint ventures. D. SIDBI Foundation of Microcredit has been launched to provide financial assistance to the poor and to meet emerging needs of the microfinance sector, especially in rural areas. Then we have commercial banks. Credit requirement of SMEs is basically of 2 types, long-term loans and working capital. Commercial banks with their extensive network of branches operating nationwide are primary channel for working capital requirement. Banks are required compulsorily to ensure that defined percentage, currently 40% of the overall lending is made to priority sectors as classified by the RBI. These sectors include agriculture, small industries, export, etc. The inclusion of small and medium enterprises in this list makes them eligible for this earmarked credit. With the liberalization of the Indian economy, greater emphasis was placed on meeting the credit needs of SMEs. This was manifest through the following initiatives taken by RBI. State Financial Corporations. The State Financial Corporation Act 1951 was brought into force to enable all the state governments except Jammu and Kashmir to set up state financial corporations such as regional development banks. Presently, following assistance is provided to small-scale and medium-scale entrepreneurs or units. A. Providing long-term finance to industrial enterprises having sole propriety, partnership, company and cooperative society form of business organization. B. Subscribing equity and debentures of industrial enterprises. C. Providing financial assistance to small and medium enterprises engaged in service sector. D. making provisions for working capital loans and meeting various short-term needs of their clients. Now, looking at the policy support to small and medium enterprises, after attaining independence in 1947, India adopted mixed economic planning as a method to achieve economic development. Along with the large-scale sector, the thrust was on the small and medium enterprises because of its decentralization, its small size, use of mainly indigenous technology, employment intensity, and its suitability for rural areas with limited techno-economic structure. Industrial policies over the years have focused to promote SMEs through various incentives related to financial, fiscal, and infrastructure measures, along with a heavy industrial base. Now viewers, let's see the strategy to enhance performance. As a result of globalization and liberalization coupled with WTO regime, the SMEs have been passing through a transitional period. With slowing down of economy of India and abroad, particularly US and European Union, and enhanced competition from China and a few low-cost centers of production from abroad, many units have been facing a tough time. It is imperative to give them a conducive environment, which in the present context of globalization calls for redefining approaches with innovation, technology, advancements in ICT, managing talent, funding, human resources, network strategy, quality, tools, etc. Discussion of these factors and their effect on international competitiveness are as follows. Regarding innovation, innovation management practices are necessary in order to provide new solutions for their products, production, marketing and administration to cope with dynamics of markets. Innovation has been found to be critical in creating and sustaining competitive advantage in the global markets. The innovation generation process requires a number of factors such as a high level of technological capabilities, strong research and development, and a pool of multidisciplinary skills. Innovation has been found to be critical in creating and sustaining competitive advantage in global markets. It has been estimated that approximately two-thirds of productivity growth of the US since the 1930s depression can be directly or indirectly attributed to innovation. Today, technology-based sectors generate more than 50% of US gross national product, about twice the level just a generation ago. Regarding technology, firm acquires process technology at early stages and then gradually gain control through incremental process change to improve firm productivity and product quality. The majority of Asian firms continue to be highly dependent on Western advanced industrialized countries for the technology. A recent study by Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that is the OECD, revealed that most Asian firms would greatly benefit from inter-firm technology partnering to upgrade their technological capabilities, although evidence suggests that these firms from developing countries are virtually locked out from inter-firm partnerships that concentrate on joint research and development and new core technologies such as ICT. Now, looking at the information and communication technology, that is ICT. The use of ICT allows the firm to respond rapidly to market and consumers by eliminating redundant activities and achieving a seamless flow of information, supply and finished goods. This ICT can be a powerful source of competitiveness for firms in international markets. The extent to which Asian firms can use ICT to enhance their competitiveness depends on the following 5 factors. A. Access to capital for investing in ICT and for continuous upgrade of the stock of IT. Second, the extent to which ICT is applied to traditional form of technology, product, process and management to enhance their productivity, efficiency, flexibility and cost structure. Thirdly, the presence of a clearly defined ICT strategy. Fourthly, availability of employees with technical skills in ICT. And fifthly, extent to which managerial ICT skills are developed. Regarding managing talent, a skilled and educated workforce enhances the absorptive capability of a firm. This is because the human and knowledge capital within a firm determines the firm's overall ability to gain sustained competitive advantage. SMEs are usually managed or run by entrepreneurs who lack formal management education, due to which they are not able to leverage upon their existing strengths to take advantage of plethora of opportunities available worldwide. SMEs also find it difficult to match the wage rate, the job security and career development opportunities available in large organizations, and therefore find it difficult to hire and retain skilled and competent manpower. The trends consistently show that most of the employees in firms in unorganized sector belong to a group which is predominantly uneducated and therefore unskilled. The labor productivity, as measured by value added per worker, is lower for SMEs than that for large firms. Regarding funding, the main identified sources of finance to SMEs units are public sector, commercial sector banks, state financial corporations, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and informal sources. Out of these financial resources, banks are a preferred source of financing by virtue of their better reach and accessibility. Furthermore, SME sector has remained aloof in raising the finance from capital markets. There has been no separate active platform for providing trading facility for securities of SMEs sector players. Moreover, the venture capitalists who showed enormous interest in financing startup ventures during the high-paced growth era have become wary of investing in such ventures as an outcome of economic downturns across the globe. All of these factors restrict the SME's ability to increase the capacities and potential benefits that could be derived from possible expansion. Therefore, almost two-thirds of the SMEs have to rely on informal sources to meet their financial requirements. Looking at the organization structure, firms with organization designs that create greater flexibility and adaptability are likely to be more competitive than firms without such a structure. The literature suggests that flat organizations allow for more efficient information flows, faster communication, greater flexibility, greater adaptability and reduced costs, and encourage innovative ideas to flourish. In order to be flexible and adaptable, organizations need to be less formal and less centralized. Where the flexibility and adaptability can coexist with a high degree of centralized decision making, as appears to be in the case of some Asian economies. Looking at the human resources aspect now, in human resources development, the entrepreneur, the manager and the worker are the prime objects of attention. Although the entrepreneur is at the heart of the development of the SMEs, other human resources are needed to mobilize capital, harness resources, acquire and utilize technology effectively, exploit and create markets, and carry on trade. Apart from marketing and technology support, the areas in which SMEs management is most vulnerable are project evaluation and financial management, including bookkeeping and budgeting. In the typical SME setup, one usually observes two types of entrepreneurs. The first one is a technocrat who has a technical idea of the product or who has chosen his product after gaining experience while working in a large unit. The second type of the person who has some business background and adequate financial resources and is looking for new avenues for enterprise. Both types have their strengths and weaknesses, but it is the former who needs to be more aware of the missing skills. Regarding networking strategy, networking enables small firms to establish formal and informal cooperation, which may take many forms. A mere knowledge exchange or commercial relationships, or a more articulated web of relations which might involve different factors such as formal and informal institutional players. A key role in such complex networks is played by universities, research centers, local institutions and several others, which provide external support in many stages of the production as well as in innovating activities. The main forms of linkages for SMEs are as follows. First, horizontal linkages, SME to SME, cooperation and joint ventures. Second, vertical linkages, SMEs and large enterprises. Third, vertical linkages, forward linkages between SMEs and large enterprises, including transnational corporations, SMEs as buyers, franchisees, etc. Regarding quality tools, quality plays an important role in many manufacturing and services organizations in gaining competitive advantage. It is widely accepted that quality of the product or service is generally thought of as the ability to meet, even exceed customer expectation. In order to achieve and maintain continuous improvement of product or service quality, organizations should use strategy based on management involvement and commitment. Now to conclude, my friends, the government has introduced various policies and incentives for promotion of SMEs. The significant rise in the number of SMEs reflects that it has been comparatively easier to establish a small enterprise as it requires a less amount of investment both in fixed and flexible capital assets. The small enterprises are growing at a much faster rate and thereby creating potentials for output and employment. Thank you viewers for watching this program.